What's up, everybody? It has been a minute since I have recorded a video, and I've been telling everyone that I was going to do an update on post-carnivore, and time has just slipped away, but I also wanted to give my body a chance to kind of show me what it was going to do. And so as you see in the photo of this video, the thumbnail, you will see that there is something that happened between ending carnivore and now. So we'll go ahead and dive right into that. So basically, I have been off of carnivore for about 2 weeks. I think it may be a little bit over that, not 100% sure. But regardless, I have had to come to terms with the fact that I have been struggling. I went through a rough time coming off of carnivore. Now, I probably should have done it differently. I probably should have done it very slowly. And I don't think that I did it super quick. I don't think that I overwhelmed my system too much. I possibly could have, but the photo that you see on the left, and I'm gonna show it in this video as well. The photo that you see on the left is me the day after I stopped carnivore. Now, I would show a before, like what I looked like before I stopped, but I was bloated already as well due to several different factors. So I didn't take a picture, but post-carnivore, I ended up having a pretty bad bloating. I ended up bloating really bad, and that was to be expected because my body had not had veggies in 3 weeks and had not had nuts in 3 weeks, and so I was expecting, you know, some bloating, but overall, just the whole carnivore experiment screwed me up. My entire body, like everything, my mind, my body. I am still somewhat getting over that, but it was pretty terrible. And since I started, I kind of have just been struggling, and coming off of carnivore was probably the best decision for me, just because it was causing me to feel like I was going to binge eat again and giving me urges and making me feel kind of depressed and down and lost. And so now that I am off of it, and I have given myself almost 2 weeks to kind of, it's probably been a little bit over 2 weeks, I can't remember the exact date, but my body is back to normal, I think, for the most part. So let's talk about what I experienced. So during carnivore, I was seeing my weight go up. Initially it dropped and my measurements dropped, but that last week measurements actually increased a little bit, and then weight was up from my initial start point by 2 pounds. My clothes were starting to fit tighter. I was overeating because I was so hungry. I could never get full. My husband can attest to the fact that I literally was just eating and eating and eating, and I was probably eating in a surplus of like 23 to 2,400 calories, or I was probably eating 23 to 2,400 calories a day if I didn't track, because at that point I didn't want to see the increase. And I was just trying to listen to my body, and so staying in a calorie deficit was not feasible for me on carnivore, because I was so hungry. Now, being in a calorie deficit on keto is never an issue for me. I experience a little bit of hunger, but never anything that I experienced with carnivore. So overall, Carnivore just did not respond well to my body. And you know, that maybe I did a couple things wrong. Maybe I should have done this or that or whatnot, but I do know that the main reason that I stopped was obviously because I had those urges again, that binge eating urge. Felt like I was gonna just go nuts and eat everything. And so after Carnivore, the day that I decided to stop, I had a salad with my lunch. Ended up having a salad that night as well. The photo that you see on the left was the day after I stopped Carnivore. And you see the huge belly. And I say huge because it was big to me. My clothes were tight. My stomach was really upset. I was bloated, gas, like pains, bubbles, things like that. It was terrible. I also feel like my mood kind of shifted. I didn't really track my food after Carnivore. I kind of let myself have dark chocolate and nuts and things like that, and veggies when I wanted them. I really was just trying to kind of get my body back used to what it was eating more fat. I probably had more carbs than my body was happy with, and so I was bloated. And so it's been a good, like, probably 4 or 5 days since I started feeling back to normal. If you are on my Instagram, you'll see the posts I've been posting recently are more about how I've been struggling, dealing with body dysmorphia, things like that. So when I talk about body dysmorphia, when I talk about seeing myself in the mirror, so when people look at that picture of me and they see a bloated belly, I see the girl that was 232 pounds. Like, maybe not that drastic, but I see something much worse than what other people see. People who see me in that left picture would be like, I wish I looked like that. And me, I'm like, I'm back at my start point. And so I suffer with body dysmorphia daily, even though I've gotten to a healthy, maintainable body weight and body image. I still struggle with it. And so when things get that out of hand, when my body decides to bloat like that or to get crazy upset with carb intake, with certain food intake, and I see it physically, it takes a mental toll on me. And so I'd love to do another video on body dysmorphia in more detail, but that is something that I've been struggling with really a lot lately since coming off of Carnivore. So Monday of this week was my first day that I actually felt like I felt back to myself. I was able to push my eating window off until about 12:30, and that is normal for me. I'll do fatty coffees in the morning, 1 or 2, and then usually I don't feel hungry or need to eat food until about between 12:30 and 2. Now on Carnivore, I was starving the moment I woke up and had to eat right away. And I did not like that because I did not feel like I was in control. And I know myself, and I know that earlier in the day that I eat, I'm going to continue to eat throughout the day, meaning that my calories have to be spread out throughout the entire day. And so I would much rather have my morning of just fatty coffee, fat fasting, and then eat most of my food in the evening, and I feel more in control. So that's something that I've dealt with, but this is probably the first week. Monday was the first day that I felt like I was fully back in control, and it's been so refreshing to feel like myself. I have not stepped on the scale. I do not plan on stepping on the scale. One thing that I told my husband was that I'm no longer chasing a goal weight, and I'm chasing a body image, a way that I feel. And so the scale does me no justice, does me no good if I have no number that I'm shooting for, and you know that my body's gaining muscle things like that. So I'm going off of what I see in the mirror, how my clothes feel, things like that. Clothes are fitting better than they were. Still just a little bit tight for me, but I'm overall feeling better. And yeah, so it's been a struggle. Right now I am debating on what I want to do for my next step. So, you know, everyone always has a goal, and I'm a very goal-oriented person. So I like feeling like I have a focus. If I don't have a goal, whether it be to cut or like to cut body fat or to bulk, then I feel kind of lost. And so typically this time of year people start kind of bulking, but I am toying around with the idea of, and this is the first time I'm saying it out loud to tons of people, but don't like take this as a solid I'm doing it, but I have reached out to Robert Sykes, Keto Savage, to possibly help me with a contest prep for a bodybuilding show, maybe a bikini show. So we shall see. I am not committing to anything. I do not have a solid plan. I do not know that I will ever be able to push myself that far, but it is something that I have had in the back of my head for a long time, thinking about doing, thinking it would be the ultimate transformation for me. But then again, when doing things like that, I've watched several friends go through it. You experience binge eating. A lot of times your body dysmorphia gets worse, and it's a true mental sport. And I just have to decide if I am mentally strong enough to do that and to go through it. So I know I have the support at home if I decide to. It's just trying to decide if I'm going to do it myself. So that is something that may or may not happen. Probably not. I wouldn't think this year. Most competitions are over with, but it's possible that I could start prepping for that at some point. So I need to talk more in depth with Robert about it. I've shot him an email and we've discussed it a couple of times, but yeah, we shall see. I'm not committing to anything just yet, but wanted to let you guys know, give you an update on how things have been going post-carnivore. Sorry, this is a lot of talking, not really vlogging, but yeah, I do have a hydrostatic body fat test set up in October, so I'm not going back for an in-body until probably October, just to kind of see how the in-body compares to the hydrostatic body fat test. But it'll just give me a base of where I'm at. I truly believe that in-body, the first one that I took, was way off. But we shall see, and you know, when I do the next one. So right now I'm just kind of watching my intake, doing a little bit of a calorie deficit, and not really being super duper like strict with certain foods. I'm just fitting them in my macros. So I have had a lot of people reach out saying that they felt like I wasn't myself or wasn't in a good place, and I cannot thank you guys enough for caring about me like that and worrying about me. And so this is just to let all of you guys know I am okay. I am allowed to struggle. It is hard to be the one that's always lifting everyone up and pulling everyone else up, and everyone thinking that I'm strong all the time. I do struggle too. So I'm trying to be as transparent as possible, and that is why you've been seeing my recent posts on Instagram about struggling and things like that. So I appreciate every single one of you that have reached out and care, and it means more than you know. So but that is just an update. I'm obviously feeling better, looking better, not bloating. I've been having almost a salad every day or some kind of veggie, and it's not messing with me. And yeah, So my body's happier. I feel mentally not foggy anymore. I'm back up to about 78-80% fat, keeping my carbs under like 18 grams total usually, and then protein's lower, which is what my body responds best to. So but yeah, I just wanted to give that update. I hope you all are doing fabulous, and I'm going to try and get a vlog here soon just to get some content out there. So I will be talking to you guys later.